And welcome to this edition of ACAP Today for the week of October 5th, 2020. I'm Jason Parent with the Aroostook County Action Program. On this week's show, we'll talk about home energy efficiency and weatherization. This is Energy Awareness Month. As a matter of fact, this coming Wednesday is Energy Efficiency Day. And at the end of the month, on the 30th, is Weatherization Day. So we'll talk with Randy Rattray, the coordinator of our housing programs here at the Aroostook County Action Program, as well as housing specialist Ben Monteith and Shannon Hill. We'll do that in just a few moments, but first, as we do on each edition of ACAP Today, we want to first get to the news and information that you can use heading into this week of October 5th. The first piece of information that we want to share with you is effective last Thursday, October 1st, our Presque Isle 771 Main Street location and our Holton Military Street office facility will now see individuals without appointments. You can, upon arrival, call the phone number on the large banner outside of each of those facilities, or use the video doorbell for service. We, of course, are still seeing individuals in our facilities by appointment only, those two facilities in particular, 771 Main Street in Presque Isle and Holton Military Street. We're also meeting with clients by phone and virtually, as well as with curbside assistance available at those two facilities in Holton and Presque Isle. So please do reach out to us with this change in status. Again, if you are in need of seeing someone inside the buildings, please do either call the number on the large banner hanging on both the Holton Military Street or 771 Main Street Presque Isle facility, and we will provide you with next step instructions. As a reminder, this is a busy week for the adult drive-through flu shot clinics. Partners Cary Medical Center and Northern Light AR Gould Hospital are hosting a wide variety of flu shot clinics. And with the COVID-19 pandemic, we, along with healthcare providers, are encouraging individuals to really consider getting their flu shot this year. Health officials say it's more important than ever before. This week in particular, the first one being offered is tomorrow, Tuesday, October 6th. From 4 to 6:30 p.m. at the Van Buren District School in Van Buren. On the 8th of October, they will be from 4 to 6 p.m. at Central Aroostook High School in Mars Hill. On October 8th, from 4 to 6:30, Washburn High School will be the host site for a flu shot clinic. And on October 10th, there will be flu shot clinics hosted by Northern Light AR Gould at the Caribou Health Center, their Caribou Health Center on Bennett Drive, and at their Fort Fairfield Health Center. That one is actually from 1 to 3. The one in the morning at the Caribou Health Center is from 9 to 2, as opposed to what it says on your screen. So please do, if you are living in one of those communities and have the opportunity to get out, these are free adult flu shot clinics. Speaking of things that we do when cold weather comes along, Community Coats, the Community Coats Project, a partnership of ACAP and the United Way of Aroostook, is available outside of ACAP 771 Main Street facility. If you have an outgrown or unwanted winter item, we certainly encourage you to drop that off. It's leave what you can, take what you need. So if you are in need of a coat for this coming winter season, please do consider providing a community coat or mittens or gloves or anything else that folks might take advantage of during the winter season. If you are uncertain and are in need of services and are uncertain of what those services might be, please do contact us here at ACAP. We do have navigators standing by that are in place to connect individuals in our community with programs across not only our agency, but other agencies in our community. The Navigator program is a key part of our pandemic response, and they are funded through the CARES Act program. So please do consider reaching out if you are uncertain but are in need of services and are uncertain what those specifically might be. The Home Energy Assistance Program is seeing clients by appointment, and those are being done all over the phone this season unless individuals request an in-person appointment. Appointments for any individuals or households that have previously received funding through the Home Energy Assistance Project program should be already out in the mail to you, and many appointments have already been held, as a matter of fact. We just ask that you please leave the time available for you and your phone free at that time so that our staff can reach out to call you. All else will be done by mail, or you can drop off paperwork at our offices and we will make sure that we get that information. Again, please, if you have not scheduled a Home Energy Assistance Program appointment in the number of years, the income guidelines have increased, and we encourage you to reach out to us about scheduling one for this season. We are scheduling appointments now out into the early winter months. and we do hope that we can serve as many Aroostook County households this year in need as possible. Again, if you have not registered in a few years, it may be worth your while to check out on our website and see what the income guidelines are to see if you may be eligible. And of course, give us a call if you have any questions. The Workforce Investment Program here, the Workforce Development Program at the Aroostook County Action Program, offers programs for both adults and youth, as well as a national emergency grant program to help individuals who are in recovery or who would like to enter a career to help others who are in recovery as a result of the opioid crisis. Please do reach out to us if you would like information on either of these programs. We recognize that a lot of people have been impacted and their employment has been impacted as a result of the pandemic. ACAP's Workforce Development Team may be here to help, or is here to help you, and may be able to provide you assistance through one of our programs through Workforce Development. So please do reach out to us. Speaking of workforce development, Maine's collaborative of workforce development providers, ACAP Workforce Solutions and Eastern Maine Development Corporation, have partnered together to offer a series of online workshops offered via Zoom. These program and information sessions include interviewing tips and tricks, making career choices, resume and cover letter development, and navigating the job search. So please do consider visiting us online to learn more about these. You can register right online, and they are no cost to participants. Our partners at the Northern Lighthouse are currently holding openings, or have openings, for residential counselors in their Mars Hill facility and Section 28 professionals throughout Aroostook County. They've been holding drop-in interviews the last 2 Wednesdays, and will hold a final one of those 3 this Wednesday, October 7th from 10 to 2. If you're looking for employment and would like to get into this line of work, please do consider visiting the Northern Lighthouse or giving them a call if you're unable to attend between 10 and noon this Wednesday. And we want to also make you aware that our final HomeWorks home buyer education program for the 2020 year will be happening Saturday, November 14th. Our October session, which happens this Saturday, is already booked, but the Saturday session for November 14th, again, the last one of this calendar year, is happening that weekend of November 14th. It is all virtual, all held over Zoom. Please contact Greg Doak at the information on your screen there. There are some very valuable incentives for new home buyers who participate in the course that are well worth the while of participating. So it's an 8-hour course, again, offered completely virtually, and Greg Doak is our contact for that. And we want to thank all of our participants across Aroostook County who participated in the Smash the Stigma event, the yellow tulip planting event that was held last week. All 10 ACAP facilities across Aroostook County planted yellow tulips, as did many of our community partners, including Northern Light A.R. Gould, the Northern Lighthouse, AMHC, and others across the county. We'll look forward to seeing those tulips come up in the spring. But again, this event was held as a reminder that the stigma around mental health and mental illness often stops people from receiving treatment. And we really want to encourage individuals to talk about mental illness as they do about physical illness, and consider if they are in need of help to reach out for help. So we thank all of our partners, including our youngest partners across Aroostook County at our early care and education centers, who dug in the dirt last week and planted yellow tulips. Again, we look forward to those coming up next spring as a reminder of the importance of reaching out and seeking assistance when it comes to mental illness. And finally, we remind all of our community members out there that the COVID-19 pandemic is still very much around and very much among us, with new cases, 26 new cases are reported in Maine today, as a matter of fact. We encourage you, as our team is doing, to please wear masks when out in public. We do it here when in public parts of our facility, and we encourage you to do that as well, and to help us stop the spread of COVID-19. So with that, it is my pleasure now to welcome to the program, as I indicated at the top of the show, Randy Rattray, who's our program coordinator for housing, Ben Monteith, and Shannon Hill, both housing specialists. Welcome to the program, everyone.
Hello. Thank you, Jason.
All right, so it's Energy Awareness Month, and Randy Rattray, folks, I think we want to make folks aware not only of the importance of having more energy tight homes, if you will, but also help people understand a little bit about the services that we offer. And weatherization is one of the services that we offer, but folks may not be aware. It's not something that you can just pick up the phone and call and say, I'd like to have my home weatherized by ACAP. Tell us about the process of becoming or getting onto the list for home weatherization, Randy.
Well, Jason, the gateway to our weatherization waiting list is basically the LIHEAP or HEAP application. Each year, our funding source, Maine Housing, takes the information from all the HEAP applications in the Aroostook County and puts it into our Hancock HEAP weatherization software. Those applications are then ranked, and it's called the WAP ranking, and they're ranked by household income, home energy cost, household composition, and they're given points for each section, and they're ranked from 20 down to 1. So we basically work on the highest rank listing that Maine Housing provides for us.
And now, about how many are done every year, weatherizations countywide?
Countywide, we're doing probably 5 jobs a month or 60 a year. Right now, we're offering services by, we have one contractor in Fort Kent, a contractor in the Holton area, and then ACAP has a 3-man weatherization in-house crew out of the Presque Isle office.
Great. Now, Ben, you most recently worked as part of that weatherization crew and now are working as a housing specialist here at ACAP. Talk us through what happens when your home is selected and you reach out first, and what that's like when a weatherization is done.
Yeah, we reach out to the client and set up a time to do an energy audit. And so we go to the house and we perform a few tests on the house. We test their furnace and stuff. We do a blower door test, and we check every square inch of the house. We model the house, square footage, windows, doors, everything. And we check and see where we could save them money by adding insulation or stopping air leaks. You know, anything we can do to save them money on their fuel costs.
And then you do the work, and then team members actually measure what the difference made was?
Yes, the program all keeps track of that. You have to be on heating assistance for a full year before you come up on the weatherization list. So they keep track of that, your fuel consumption and everything for that first year. And then, you know, your application based, like Randy said, based on WAP rank, we receive them. So your application won't pop up until you've received it for a full year. So we have all that information so we can tell how much money we're potentially going to save the client.
So talk about some of the things that the crew actually does when they're doing the weatherization work in the home.
They go in and they check. Like I said, we do a blower door test, and that'll show us where the house may be leaking air. So they do a lot of air sealing in the basement, insulating the basement, and air sealing in the basement. They do a lot of insulation and air sealing in attics. That's where most of the work goes. And on average, we have a number, a blower door number, and that shows how much air is leaking. And we usually drop it by at least 30% on, cold air coming in and heat going out. So we do save the clients quite a bit.
Now, it said, I was looking at the national website today, it says there's an average savings nationwide of $283 per year in energy costs after a weatherization, but I'm guessing that we've seen more than that here in Aroostook County with the long winter seasons that we have.
I'm not exactly sure, but I had one lady call us a couple of months ago. We weatherized for her last year, and she said we saved her over 100 gallons of fuel.
Wow.
And that sounds, that's right around that average you said.
Great. Now, Shannon Hill, you, in addition to working side by side, if you will, or with the weatherization team, you oversee our home repair program, and that's a very much needed program in Aroostook County, and also helps to, in a way, helps to make sure that the home is sound and tight and safe for individuals.
Yes, of course, Jason. And what we can do with the home repair program, is when our weatherization team has gone out to do their first inspection of a home to see if it qualifies for the program, they ask a number of questions, and one of them is whether or not their roof leaks. And so if their roof is leaking, then we are unable to do weatherization on that home, which makes sense because we wouldn't want new insulation getting wet. So that home would have to get deferred. So the boys and I have a pretty good relationship now where if they defer a home, they give me the paperwork, and when funding is available, I run them through the home repair program, get the roof repaired. And then once that's completed, I let them know, and then they're able to go back in the home and provide those weatherization benefits.
Now, Shannon, a lot of the work that you do and Ben does involves going into people's homes and connecting with individuals. What do you hear from individuals whose homes that you do work on about the difference made? Ben talked about the difference in savings, but I imagine that you're helping really live up to the vision of the agency and making life better.
No, exactly. That's exactly what we're doing. You know, you go in and everyone is always appreciative of any type of work, big or small, that we can do in their home because every little bit does help. So whether it's a weatherization crew going in and doing insulation, or by me putting in windows, you know, replacing a window that had been broken for a couple of years, you know, just a single window can certainly increase their energy savings. So I hear tons of stories all the time of people so appreciative of our services, and what a difference the home repairs that we do make has on their life financially um, and everything else.
Now, Randy Rattray, in addition to weatherization and home repair, one of the key ways that a home is energy efficient is that if your heating system is running efficiently. And another program that we offer here is called the Central Heating Improvement Program. Talk to me about that program and how it's making things better for homeowners across the county.
That's right, Jason. As a matter of fact, every home that we weatherize, we also do a heating system clean tune-up and evaluation. If the home hasn't had one in the previous 12 months. That's normally how most of our central heating improvement projects start out, is with a basic clean tune-up and evaluation from a heating system contractor. They will then give us, send us a tech report that gives us recommendations for either upgrading the heating system to get better efficiencies. Sometimes they condemn the unit. And if they do that, we can replace the unit. And when we replace them, we put much more efficient units in than what are in the house now. A lot of the heating systems in our homes that we serve are very old technology with steady state efficiencies down in the 70%. Now the systems we're putting in are in the high 80% efficiencies, so they can save a lot of money. Some of the older boilers that they used to have in these homes have a domestic coil in them, which is old technology. And when we replace those units, we put a boiler in with a direct hot water maker, which will save homeowners tons of money. That boiler is called a cold start boiler. So that the only time that boiler runs is when it needs heat or when the hot water gets below a certain temperature. The old style boilers used to stay at temperature 24/7, 365 days a year. So we were wasting a lot of energy just that boiler sitting there.
Now, in terms of making folks aware of that program, that is also a program that requires you to be eligible for and enrolled in the Home Energy Assistance Program, correct?
That's correct. The Home Energy Assistance application is basically a gateway to make most of our programs here at the Housing Department. Weatherization, Central Heating Improvement Program. We also have an above ground tank storage replacement program that is funded by DEP to replace tanks that are in poor condition or chance of leaking or tipping over. And that program is also, you have to be eligible for LIHEAP for that program.
So we really want to make sure that we encourage the folks I was talking in the news segment earlier about the fact that the income eligibility guidelines for the Home Energy Assistance Program have increased in the last 2 years. we've seen some significant increases in the eligibility guidelines. So we really do believe that there's perhaps thousands more of Aroostook County households who are not eligible for, weren't previously eligible for that program maybe 3 years ago that maybe now. So we do want to encourage folks to apply for that program. Then from the perspective of someone who used to work in folks' homes on the weatherization piece of it, what is it that you find, what and your crew finds when they go into people's homes in terms of things that are most needed to be done in Aroostook County?
A lot of what we see is a lot of doors needing to be weather stripped and sealed to keep air from coming through. A lot of attics are just empty or have hardly any insulation in them at all. Or a lot of the basement windows, rotten basement windows that need to be sealed up or replaced. A lot of it is, just the homeowner not having the ability, they know they need something, but they don't have the ability to do it. So a lot of the time, like you said with Shannon, I've never had any negative feedback, nothing but high praises from everybody, because we're helping them keep their home a little warmer. And, we do like Shannon's program, we go in and we find a lot of places that need something done. They can't afford it and they have no idea, so we do a lot of letting people know stuff that they didn't have any idea about their house, and mostly, adding insulation to keep the heat in.
Great. Now, Randy, one of the things that in recent years, or in recent months anyway, a weatherization work in some cases has included an appliance replacement. Talk to me about that.
Under our heap weatherization, we're allowed to do one appliance replacement per household, and I believe the appliance has to be over 10 years old. We usually end up replacing either refrigerators or dryers, and we replace the old models with new Energy Star models, again, to help efficiency with people's homes. Our new software that we use for the weatherization program, called the Hancock Heat Program, it actually, once we model a home in that software, it won't let us do an energy task that's doesn't pay back within 20 years. It's called the savings to investment ratio. So we know that once we run that home through that program, and we put a certain dollar amount to a task that we want to do, we know whether or not we're going to save that client money before we even start. So that's, we know we're going to, when we go to a home, we know we're going to save people money.
That's amazing. Now, I know one of the other things that we've been doing that folks may hear about in the community, but we want to sort of lessen expectations related to, is the installation of some of the heat pumps in Aroostook County. And that program is currently running, but we're not accepting new applications at this time.
That's correct, Jason. Last year, when we started taking heat applications, we advertised pretty heavily for that program. And pretty much anybody who applied for heat last year seems to be on our waiting list. We have a waiting list of probably 500 strong for the heat pump program. And we actually didn't get any extra funding from our funding source for heat pumps. We were just, our central heating improvement program, they just allowed us to start putting heat pumps in with the existing funding that we had. Right now the weather's getting colder and we're starting to get a lot more no heat calls and heating systems that are starting to people are starting to have their heating systems cleaned, and they're finding out that they're being condemned or they need additional work done. So that's what we're basing our priority right now, is doing those units rather than heat pumps.
Shannon Hill, as we celebrate Energy Awareness Month this month, what do you want folks to know about the programs and services that we offer, and how important energy conservation in a home is?
Well, I think everybody that's lived up here understands the importance of energy savings. The winters and stuff can be brutal and very long. So if you aren't able to squirrel money away, then having the programs here that we do certainly does help people manage to get through the winter and stay warm.
Great. Any last thoughts from you, Ben, in terms of the difference that folks see in their homes as a result of the weatherization work you and your team do?
I mean, I think everybody should check into it. And I mean, I myself have benefited from it. You know, everything that happens here is great in my eyes.
Great, Ben. And Randy, the last word as the program coordinator is yours. Happy Weatherization or Energy Efficiency Month with Weatherization Day at the end.
Thank you, Jason. I would just encourage anybody who thinks they may be eligible for the HEAP program to apply. As Jason said, the income guidelines have gone up over the last couple of years quite a bit. So if you're interested, give us a holler or take a look at our website. I believe our income guidelines are posted there. So yeah, we offer some great services. And if we can save you some money on your heat cost, those funds can go somewhere else.
Great. Randy Rattray, Ben Monteith, and Shannon Hill, thank you so much for being on this edition of ACAP Today, and most especially thank you for all of the work that you do with households across Aroostook County to ensure that they're warm and safe in their homes. It's truly great work that you all do, and we appreciate it very much. So with that, wishing you all a happy Energy Awareness Month, and then of course Energy Efficiency Day this Wednesday, and Weatherization Day at the end of the month. So before we leave all of you today, we want to remind you that one of the ways that you can check out what Randy was talking about, those are the eligibility guidelines for the Home Energy Assistance Program, which is a gateway to weatherization, the Central Heating Improvement Program, and many other programs that Randy and Shannon and Ben were talking about, is to in fact check out our website at www.acap-me.org. You can also look for us on Facebook. We'll be posting all throughout this month some interesting facts about weatherization and energy efficiency and how some of our programs are helping people not only in the county, but nationwide through our network of community action associations. You can also reach out to us if you have any questions at acap-info@acap-me.org. Or feel free to give us a call at 7421 and you'll be prompted to press a certain number for the housing department, and they can certainly help you and fill you in on any other information you might need to know. And before we leave you this week, as we do each week, we present our snapshot of the week. This week's snapshot of the week is Dolores. Dolores is part of the team at the Aroostook Agency on Aging that actually do the homebound intakes for our home energy assistance program. So she will go into the homes of individuals who are unable to leave their home or have other difficulty, perhaps being able to do a phone appointment, and be able to do that in person on behalf of those individuals and help them get connected to the home energy assistance program. So we not only thank you, Dolores, but our friends at the Aroostook Agency on Aging for all they do in our community to help, especially our senior population. And with that, we leave you today with the video that was produced last week when we did the Yellow Tulip Project. This video was produced by Becca Penny from our communication and development team. We thank her and we thank all of those who participated in the Yellow Tulip Project. Here's a look at the activity across Aroostook County last week. Have a great week, everyone.
Aroostook County Action Program is a proud partner in Aroostook County's first Yellow Tulip Project. When founder Julia Hansen was in middle school and until her sophomore year in high school, she felt alone in dealing with her depression. The deafening silence and stigma that surrounds the topic kept her from reaching out for help. It took the tragedy of losing her two best friends to suicide in 2015 and 2016 for her to find her voice and to speak out. She had an idea: to create a space for determined youth to eradicate stigma, build community, and inspire productive conversations about how to combat the rising rates of suicide. The Yellow Tulip Project was born from this vision. The rise in mental health illness in the United States is staggering, with 1 in 5 American adults experiencing mental illness. COVID-19 has only exacerbated the crisis. Federal hotlines emotional distress calls this April saw a 1,000% spike compared with the same period last year. These statistics are startling and clearly demonstrate the increased need for these services in Aroostook County and for us to start conversations in our community to stop the stigma. At our Yellow Tulip ceremonies at the Aroostook County Action Program, we celebrate Julia and her vision as we create the first Yellow Tulip Project here in Aroostook County. This week, along with our partners from Northern Light Health, A.R. Gould, the Northern Lighthouse, the United Way of Aroostook, and Aroostook Mental Health Center, we are creating hope gardens by planting yellow tulips at over a dozen sites here in Aroostook County. When these beautiful and resilient flowers bloom next spring, they will remind us of the strength of our community while showing support for those battling mental illness, as the yellow tulips represent happiness and hope. The yellow tulip reminds us in dark times it's important to reach out and ask for help and support those in our community who are struggling, as hope is always there.